Hey everybody, it's me, Nat C. Jones. I'm here, just dropped my kids off at school, and I want to get right into it. How to attract a good man, part 2. Number 4 today is something that seems way too practical and simple, but a lot of women don't think about. Number 4 is go places where men are, and don't be afraid to go alone. Here's the thing, it is sometimes a numbers game. God is not gonna drop a man in your lap at your house while you watching Netflix. You're gonna have to get out and mingle. Now I know it's tough during this time with COVID, but get in the habit of going places alone. Change your mind about what that means. It doesn't mean that you're lonely. It doesn't mean that you don't have any friends. Sometimes it could just mean, I just want to be alone with my thoughts. I want to chill. I don't want to share my popcorn. I just want to get some coffee. Whatever it is, be comfortable going places where men frequent, going and go by yourself. Because if you go with your friends, a lot of times men are uncomfortable approaching women when they are with other women. Because, based on what they've shared with me, a lot of times, women act different when they're around their friends than they do when they're alone. So get comfortable with doing that. Practice it. Go to a little restaurant, sit on the outside part, get you a little appetizer, chill with your phone. What places do men frequent? This may sound crazy, but I have always told my single girlfriends, going to a gym is great. There are always going to be men at the gym. There are going to be men at sporting events. This is my secret. One of my favorite places to frequent when I was single was Home Depot. There's nothing but men in Home Depot, and most of the men in Home Depot, Lowe's, or places like that, they have manly jobs, or they have houses and things that they're trying to fix up. Go there instead of going to get your paint. If you're going to paint, instead of going to Walmart, go to Home Depot, go to specialty stores and check it out. And the places are crawling with men. Just ask around. Like, if you don't have any male friends, I would suggest you get some male friends and ask them, like, so where do guys hang out? Where are the places they like to be? What do they like to do? And you need to be in those places. If you're serious about meeting someone, I know that people are meeting each other online, and if that's your thing, go ahead, but you have to be open to meeting people in person as well. That's number 4. Go places where men frequent and go alone. Number 5, be comfortable in your own skin. Listen, this is tough for women because we have so many images and messages being thrown at us constantly about the way we look. But I have spoken to many, many men, and they are attracted to women who look the most like themselves. They want to know what you're going to look like after you get out of the pool. After you've dunked under the water and you come up, what do you look like when all the makeup and everything has come off, the hair, all of that kind of stuff? They want to know what they're really dealing with. I know it's fashionable to put all these things on ourselves, the lashes, the weave, the thick makeup. But I hear men all the time complaining about why women can't seem to let that go. Now, it's cool to do from time to time, for special events and stuff like that. But a good man, he wants to see who you really are. There's nothing wrong with a little makeup here and there, or whatever you need to do to tighten yourself up. Makeup and hair, it's about expressing yourself, and you want a different look sometimes. It's cool. But he wants to know at some point that he can see what you look like for real, and that you're comfortable with what you look like. So if you're not comfortable with what you look like, get comfortable. If you feel like you need to lose some weight, work on it. eat healthy, work out. I'm gonna give you a little hint. Here's a hint, because in the Black community, I know we have different opinions about what is healthy and what's not healthy. In the Black community, if you're big, you're considered healthy, and if you're thin, they think you're sick. So I used to struggle with this because I was really, really skinny growing up, and everybody in the Black community and thought, like, you need to eat something. They make me feel bad. Oh, they called me anorexic. They called me a crackhead. And I was like, I am eating. I was just naturally really skinny. It was hard for me to gain weight. When my metabolism changed and the weight started coming on, everything changed. It was like, oh, dang, are you pregnant? And then you've been eating, huh? So you know what I realized? Don't listen to people, because they're always going to have something to say, number one. But number two, man, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, eating healthy, if you're eating healthy and if you're exercising, 3 times a week, whatever you look like after doing that consistently, that's what you're supposed to be. That's the size that you're supposed to be. I don't believe that everybody's supposed to be the same size. I believe that we're going to have people who are a little bit bigger. We're going to have people that are a little bit smaller. But if you have healthy habits like eating right and exercising and getting enough sleep, whatever you look like after that, that's your ideal weight. That's the way you're supposed to look. So just make a decision to be as healthy as possible. Don't focus on, this is the size I want to be focused on. I want to be healthy. So I'm going to exercise. I'm going to make sure my heart is strong and I can move fast when I need to without passing out, and that my blood sugar levels and my cholesterol levels are where they should be, and everything else will fall into place. I promise you. So saying all that to say, be comfortable in your skin. In order to be comfortable in your skin, you're gonna have to take care of yourself. That means taking care of your skin, taking care of your health, hair, whatever. And then accept who you are after all of that. And whatever you have after all of that, that's the you that you need to fall in love with. And if nobody else, if other people don't like it, then forget about them, because this is you at your best. And so be comfortable with that. And do not change who you are because it seems like a certain man would want something different. I remember seeing this episode. I can't remember what show it was. It might have been a movie, but it was this woman. She continued to change herself for this man. She got breast implants, she got butt implants, she got lip injections, she got the hair he wanted. She did everything that he wanted because he was constantly telling her that he wanted something else. And then when it was all said and done, he was still not satisfied with her, and he ended up cheating on her to be with someone who looked a little bit more plain Jane, who was just a little bit more natural. And she didn't understand. And so she asked him, why? I did everything that you asked me to do. Why wasn't that enough? And he was like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like you weren't comfortable with yourself. The audacity of this man to say this, right? But it was true. He was a freaking psycho. But she shouldn't have been changing herself to be who he wanted her to be. There were times, like I said, growing up, when I was younger, I was skinny. And, black guys were into the thick stuff, right? And that the whole thing with me was always, oh, she pretty, but she need to gain some weight. That was all I heard my whole life when I was younger. Some sort of criticism towards my body. So I started to, I made a decision that I was going to love myself just as fiercely as I loved other people in my life. People who know me know I'm very protective of my mother, of my children, of my husband, family members. Like, you cannot come for them. I will destroy you. And because I love like that, my love is very protective. And so if you come against one of them, I'm going to come against you. And so, but when it came to myself, I didn't have that same attitude. I just kind of would be like, kind of shrug stuff off. So one day I said, you know what? I'm not going to continue to entertain people who don't think I'm good enough. Like, I don't even want them in my life. I don't want to hear anything they have to say. So that became a deal breaker for me. When men would ask me out, they say stupid stuff sometimes, and then you need to gain some weight or this or that. I would say, listen, It's obvious that you're looking for a different type of woman, because what you see in front of you is what I am. So since you let it come out of your mouth that you're not pleased with this, you need to just keep it moving. I'm obviously not the girl for you. And then they'll be like, no, I was just playing. I said, First of all, why would you even open up a conversation with an insult? Because a lot of times guys who are immature, if they feel like you feel too highly of yourself or you think too much of yourself, they feel like they got to chip you down to deal with you, just break you down a little bit to deal with you. And that's a red flag. Do not deal with men that can't handle you loving yourself. And if they're intimidated by you having confidence, then they're not the guy. They're not a good man. Good men are not intimidated by women who love themselves. There were a couple of men who criticized the way that I looked. And this is what I told them, because I remembered that show of that woman that did all of that stuff and the man still wasn't satisfied. I said, look at here. This is me. If you don't like it, then you need to kick rocks. I'm not changing for you. And you know what? A lot of them told me later, like, man, I really respected that. I really, really respected that. Like, because I was just trying to see what you were made of. And I'm like, whatever. So anyway, be comfortable in your own skin. That is number 5. Number 6, this is a no-brainer. Always look your best. Now, this is not convenient all the time, but just make it a part of your routine. If you're brushing your teeth, you have grooming routines, you're brushing your teeth, hopefully you're bathing consistently. Comb your hair, take care of your skin. Your posture is good, you're smiling like we said in the last video. You want to put on a little makeup, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. Just make sure you're clean and you're groomed and you're dressed in clothes that don't look like they're raggedy with holes in them. Now, this was my issue because I didn't care anything about clothes. I was big on just wearing what was comfortable. And I had friends that told me, Natalie, come on. Like, you really gotta, these jeans, I had a jean jacket that had like holes in the elbows, but it was so comfortable, and I used to wear it so much. And I had somebody basically take it from me and say, no, I'm not gonna allow you to wear this anymore. So just look your best, because I'm not saying that it's a competition, but there are other women out there who are looking for the same thing that you're looking for. So you want to make sure that if you're in a group of women or in a setting where there are other women and there are men there that you're interested in, that you stand out. Number 7, don't be shallow and don't be too picky. Here's the thing about good men. They don't always come in the package that you expected them to come in. So you have to be honest with yourself and make a decision. How important is it that he looks like Idris Elba? How important is it that he is bow-legged? How important is it that he makes all this money? How important is it the car that he drives? Like, you have to ask yourself, what is a good man to you? And if a good man to you is all of these superficial things, you're going to find out that that's not the case, because all of those things can change. Now, you don't want a lazy bum. You want a man that works hard. You want a man that is good to you and is good to his family. You want a man who has common sense, a man who has a relationship with God. You want a man who can take care of the family. But sometimes as women, we have standards that are so high that we end up dying alone because of these standards. We're waiting for that perfect man, because I don't know if it's the books that we read when we were a kid or if it's the movies, the romantic movies, but we have to snap back into reality. Men are people. Say it with me. Men are people. And because men are people, men deserve grace. The same grace that we want for ourselves. The grace to make mistakes, the grace to, learn and to grow. You have to have an eye to be able to identify a good investment of your time. Because every man that you meet is not going to have it 100% all together as soon as you meet him. When you're looking for a good man, especially if it's for, a family, you want to get married and have children, life is about growth. You have to focus on this person's character. Is this someone who never gives up? Is this someone who, when obstacles are presented to them, they just turn around and go the other way? You want to look for character traits, because those are things that don't change. What does change are things like the kind of job they have, the kind of money they make, their physical appearance. It changes. I don't look the way I looked when I was 20. That changes. So I really want to encourage women to be as deep as possible, because men who have good character are going to treat you well, and you're going to be happy with them if you have good character. If you're looking for a good man and you're not a good woman, you'll never be satisfied with a good man. So then the question is, what's a good woman? It really has to do with valuing people for what's on the inside versus what's on the surface, and having depth yourself, having something on the inside that you have to offer versus just on the surface. But all we see glamorized and glorified in the media is the way we look for the women and what the men have as far as finances. That's it. That's all they're telling you matters in this man-woman love game. How do you look and how much money does he make? The problem with that is looks change and so does money. So what, are you going to leave him as soon as financial hardship pops up? You want him to leave you as soon as you put on a few pounds, or when you get older? Come on, like, how shallow are we? I've seen a lot of these people online with these shows, I'm not going to name any names, that are promoting this foolery about selecting people based on the way they look and the money that they make, and it's complete garbage. Now, it's easy to do because you don't have to think. It's just a numbers game. But that's not how life works. At the end of the day, when you lay your head down, you want to be with someone who loves you and someone you can trust. And the rules of engagement for finding someone like that is different than just finding a man that got some money. Because if all he has is money, he can cheat on you. He can go upside your head. He could be emotionally unavailable, and you'll have all the shoes and clothes you want and depressed. How many times do we have to learn this lesson? We've heard the horror stories. Don't be shallow. Look at people for who they are on the inside, because that's what you would want them to do, right? If you're a good woman and you want a good man, hear what I say. This is part 2, you guys. I got a lot more for you. Hopefully you listen up and you stay tuned and really put a lot of these tips to practice. Do some searching. Look inside yourself and say, what have I been putting out there? Am I attracting what I put out? Am I repelling what I say I want because I've allowed the culture to dictate to me what I should value and how I should behave? That's a good question. I'm sorry I had these shades on the whole video, but this sun is not playing out here today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share it, like, and subscribe, and I'll keep coming with the truth. The show enough truth, so help me God. Talk to you later. Bye.